Here's a fly ball out towards center field. This one's going back, and this one is gone! Taylor hits this one out towards center field to the short porch, and it's a grand slam! That's a floater, out to short. And it's booted off the shortstop's glove! Just like they drew it from Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons! Gone! Grant Fournier! Two-run shot to right!
Happy Sunday morning. We welcome you to the Edward Fitzgerald Memorial Field right here on West Atlantic Avenue at Haddon Heights for a South Jersey NABA wild card round matchup between the South Jersey Lightning, the 6 seed, and the South Jersey Diamondbacks, the 3 seed. These two teams have had a lot of history in this season, but they're looking to start over again at 0-0 as we look to start a very exciting opening round of South Jersey NABA play. Both teams are ready, both umpires are ready, and we are ready here from Haddon Heights. This is a field that I am very near and dear to. I played fall ball here back in 2018, 2019 when I was wrapping up my short-lived baseball career. But the Lightning are coming into this game with high hopes after picking up a couple of wins at the tail end of the regular season. They are 0-2 in the regular season head-to-head versus the Diamondbacks, but they've had some promise this year. Obviously, they've got star outfielder Max Wersta, who's hitting in the 3 spot today, and has been one of the best power sluggers in NABA. Meanwhile, they've got owner-manager Donovan Schmidt, who's been a rather good, versatile player in the infield, but today he bats second and plays in left field. Diamondbacks will be ready to go as well as the number 3 seed here from Haddon Heights. They are playing on the Lightning home field. However, the Diamondbacks will be donning the home colors, and the Lightning will be getting ready in their road gear. We'll be right back as we've got first pitch, starting lineups, and much more. Happy Sunday morning here from Haddon Heights. We'll be right back. Back here from Haddon Heights, let's introduce the South Jersey Lightning, the visitors for today, presented by Harper Driving School. There are some changes to the lineup, so what you see on the screen, take that with a grain of salt. We were just talking with player manager Donovan Schmidt, and there are some late changes that will be taking place. Shaheem Pace is going to move up to left field. He's going to bat leadoff. Donovan Schmidt takes first base, batting second. Max Wersta remains in center field, batting third. Jordan Van will be the right fielder, batting fourth. Then it will be pretty much the same from there on out. Michael Sr. will be the second baseman, batting fifth, followed up by Keith Keith Paley Jr., who will be the pitcher batting 6th. And then the catcher will still be Pete Caniglia batting in the 7th slot. And then in the 8 and 9 slot, it's instead going to be Dominic Lamontier Jr. at third base, batting 8th. He still remained in that position in the original lineup. And then Luis Vargas moved from the 1 slot to the 6th slot. TJ Small is the left-hander starting for the South Jersey Diamondbacks this afternoon. And we'll get it started again with Shaheem Pace batting in left field. Again, there were some changes to the original lineup. Pace, a 2018 grad of Salem, went 24 for 61 in his senior season with the Rams. First pitch from Small, and it's fouled back. We're underway here in the South Jersey NABA Playoffs. Yeah, Pace batted .393 as a senior with Salem in 2018 after going 9 for 29 as a junior with the Rams back in 2018. Believe he shared a graduating class with Jonathan Taylor, who went to Salem High School, then went over to Wisconsin before becoming the star running back for the Indianapolis Colts. There's a fly ball, right center field. Playable and right, and it's taken in for the first out of the ball game. Playable and right for number 7, Elliott Shapley, or check that, number 8, Dante Washington. Here's Donovan Schmidt. He's the player manager of the Lightning, who rebranded from the South Jersey Spartans in 2024. We covered the Spartans in their championship game in the Men's Baseball League versus Tanky's Tavern, with the Tavern ending up winning that game 13-5. Outside to Schmidt. Worsta on deck. Fouled back by Schmidt over the head of everyone and into the Haddon Heights Public Works sector. Yeah, Salem baseball has definitely had its years, but you know, we talk about when it comes to mind, of course, the Shalleck head coach helped rebuild Salem in the early 2010s, and then Josiah Hughes took over around 2018 as a fly ball to right. Washington's there again. 2 up, 2 down for CJ Small. And Max Worsta will be the batter here as the third man up in the top of the first. Again, biggest thing here is soft contact. You know, when we talk about men's league baseball, it is a little bit more of a casual, slowed down game. So it's going to be important as they go along today to find that groove. And of course, to make the contact when they can. A couple of droplets coming down. Worsta laces one in the left field. That's going to drop for a base hit. And Max Worsta has the first base hit here in the playoff opening round for South Jersey NABA. Now Jordan Van will come up in the 4 slot. Very similar to the droplets that very lightly hit us yesterday, all the way from PA to Jersey down to Delaware. That fastball is high and away by Small. That one is floated. That one's going to drop, and it gets past second base. Goes into center field. A little bit of trouble by Quist Sultan coming up with it, and that's going to be a base hit. Back-to-back for the Lightning. And now Michael Sr. will bat with 2 on and 2 out. Yeah, a little bit of an unsung rally here. I mean, you had 2 flyouts to right. Looked like it was going to be a very pedestrian inning for the Lightning. But instead, Michael Sr. has a chance to open up the scoring here on this Sunday morning. So a single to left and a little bloop single back up the middle. They're going to call a balk. So how about that? Before we get a first pitch on Senior, a balk is called, and now runners will advance to second and third. Fouled back. Fouled back 0-1. Yeah, there was some overnight rain, but it was able to hold off enough. Senior, floater, left field. It is caught it short, and the inning is over. So a blooper out towards short thwarts the Lightning's rally as 2 flyouts to right and 2 singles ends with a whimper at short. Diamondbacks will take the dish in the bottom of the first, no score. We'll be getting it started with Tegan Gillard, the Kingsway grad. here in the bottom of the first. Let's introduce the starting pitcher for the South Jersey Lightning this evening, Keith Paley Jr. The right-hander comes into this game with a bit of an odd stat line: 40 strikeouts, 35 walks, win-loss of 4-1, and a 3.67 ERA in 39 2/3 innings. So we'll get it started again with Tegan Gillard. Jersey had a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction, so he's just hitting in the old gray tee today. It's 1-0. We're working on getting that starting lineup updated as well. They had a bit of difficulty getting some folks here on time. So Tegan Gillard, Skylar Gordon, and Andrew Scott will be the first three. Strike called. 1-1 is the count, I believe. Paley with the 1-1. Misses up and in. Oh, excuse me, 3-1 is the count. The Diamondbacks looking to pick up where they left off as they have blanked the Lightning both times in their regular season matchups. That one missed up and in. We've got ball 4. First pitch from Paley. Popped up into right center field off the bat of Gordon. Oh, he dropped it. Oh, boy, that's going to be tough. They'll throw it down to second, trying to get a fielder's choice. He is safe. That'll be an E9, so a tough break in right field. And that will get charged against Jordan Van. Or no, excuse me, they did make a change. Not sure who they put out there, but wasn't Jordan Van, but here's the number 3 batter, Andrew Scott. Strike called in the inside corner. Two on, nobody out after a walk and an E9. Scott gets jammed. This one is floated and caught it short. That was a nice play out there. Just it was able to get a little bit under it, and the velocity was slow enough to where they weren't too worried about getting that ball into the outfield. As the number 4 hitter for the Diamondbacks will be Hector Sepulveda, or excuse me, will be number 23, Carlos Sepulveda. My apologies. Hitting in the 4 spot, though, after Scott blooped out to short for the first out of the frame. Paley Jr. looks back, gets a strike called. That ball smoked left center field. This one will stay up for Max Wersta. Makes the catch, and they're able to hold the runner back at second with a little bit of it wasn't exactly a dive and it wasn't exactly a slide, but he got down in front of it and made the catch. And Carlos Sepulveda's retired for the second out. Kind of would be an inverse of the top of the first inning for the Lightning, where they had 2 outs and then got 2 runners on. And in this case, Diamondbacks get 2 runners on and then get 2 outs in the inning. Because we started out with a walk and an E9. Then a pop out to short was out number 1, and now a fly out to center marks out number 2 as Carlos Sepulveda's retired. Strike called. Number 5 hitter, Howie Garcia. for the D-backs. This is away. Yeah, tried to get a little bit of a breaking ball that time on the outside corner, and again, with 2 on and 2 outs, it's imperative that they try and attack the zone as much as they can. Runner moves, throws behind. That throw goes into left field. This is going to be trouble. Here comes the throw to the plate by Gillard. It's not going to get anywhere, and the Diamondbacks are on the board. A bad throw to left by Caniglia is the second error of the inning by the Lightning, and without yielding a hit, the Diamondbacks reach on the board first. It's 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. So Gillard comes in. Gordon is at second. And here's the pitch. That one is way high. And again, I think a little bit, not shaken up, but the confidence can be a little bit rattled when you're talking about making a play like that where, you know, it wasn't your fault that the runner scored, and that will be scored an unearned run on Paley Jr., which he doesn't have too many of. He's allowed 16 earned runs this year, faced against 20 total runs, and again, an ERA of 3.67 for the right-hander. And here's the pitch. Popped up, out of play. It's going to be a full count, looks like. Full count, Paley versus Garcia. And strike 3 called. Paley Jr. gets out of it with minimal damage. He gets a strikeout looking to Garcia. And they do score 1 run on a bad throw to left field. The Lightning get 2 errors against them, but 1 run allowed. Lightning will come to bat in the top of the second with 4, 5, and 6 due up. It's 1-0. Strike is called to Keith Paley Jr. to start off the top of the second. On your screen, we're introducing the left-hander, C.J. Small. He's got a 0.39 ERA in 23 innings this year. He's got a 6-1 win-loss, and again, this is a pitcher versus pitcher battle where he's got 6 walks and 23 Ks to his credit this season. Paley fouls it back. For the Lightning in the top of the second, we'll have Paley, followed by Pete Caniglia in the on-deck circle, who got charged with an error, and then Dominic Lamontier Jr. 2-2 is the count. This broadcast is brought to you by Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students who take their New Jersey State driving test with Harper pass on the first attempt. If you like those odds, you can book an appointment today at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman at 614 Lambs Road. They'll keep that ball out of play. Looks like he tipped it foul. Two count. Ground ball, third base side. Nice scoop on the glove side, and the throw to first is in time. Taken in by Carlos Sepulveda, and there's one away. Decent piece of hitting there. I mean, again, on this infield, there's a lot of variables. All the dirt isn't exactly even, and you can have some bad hops. So for a guy like Andrew Scott, who's a good fielding third baseman down there at the hot corner, you can't always rely on that. Here's the batter, Caniglia. Now, he was, when we worked with the Spartans last year before they rebranded to the Lightning, Caniglia and Schmidt were the co-owners, if you will. I don't know Caniglia's role with the new franchise, but either way, though, this ball's hit well, out to left field, going back. It is over the head of Garcia. Here goes Caniglia. He's going to get down to second. The left fielder, Garcia, fell, and Caniglia powers into second base with a one-out double. And they'll have a chance to tie the game with Lamontier batting with a runner in scoring position. Third hit for the Lightning. Diamondbacks still without a hit, but they do have the one run thanks to two Lightning errors in the first inning. Big swing and a miss by Lamontier, and I think that was, again, that was a statement swing. If he got a charge into that ball, he probably would have sent it a long way, even out of the 8 spot. 0-1. Skips in, gets trapped by the catcher. And again, you tip your cap sometimes in that case because, again, the dirt is a little bit uneven. A catcher blocking a ball is one of the hardest things to do in baseball, and especially in these field conditions. That one's fouled back onto the Little League field. I would also imagine that it doesn't help. I mean, I've seen other men's league games. This field is pretty much middle of the road when it comes to men's league fields. I've seen worse. So these guys are playing, you know, with the field that they can gather today. Breaking ball missed inside, 2-2. Again, from Small, who was only allowed 6 walks this season, compared to 23 Ks and 29 innings of work and a 0.39 ERA, compared to Paley's 3.67. There's a hot shot. This one's going to get past short into center field. This one's going to be a play. They will hold the runner. The third base coach told him so. The entire dugout told him so. And now we've got runners on the corners as the Lightning, still searching for their first run, could hit lightning in a bottle with their 4th hit, with Luis Vargas being the batter now out of the 9 spot. So again, a double by Caniglia. And now a single by Lamontier. They're going to have Senior at third. Runners on the corners, one away for Vargas. Ground ball out to third. Scott is there. The runner will get to second, and the throw is high. He does tag the bag. Now Senior's going to get back to third. He'll trail back. It does move the runner up. A bit of an odd situation there, but it will be a ground out. And there's 2 away. Back to the top of the order for Shaheem Pace. The Salem Rams product. Ground ball, foul ball, third base side. Just stayed outside of the line. If it stayed a little bit closer to the right as you get to third, even if it goes over the bag, it would still count. But in this situation, no cigar. 0-1 to the leadoff man, Pace. He's dealing with 2 runners in scoring position. That's a line drive. It's over the head of Scott in the left field. There's a base hit. Senior comes in to score, waving around third. They stop him there. A great throw. Now here comes the throw to second from Keegan. It goes into center field, and the Lightning have taken the lead. It's 2-1. Lamentier and Senior come in as a complicated play. It'll be an RBI single for Pace, and then a second run will come in on an error to center field. It's the third error combined between these two clubs, and the Lightning have taken a 2-1 lead. RBI by Pace, and now the player-manager, Donovan Schmidt, the batter. There's a line drive out to short on one knee. He picks it up, fires across. Sepulveda a little bit wide, but he makes the tag, and the inning is over. 2 runs come across as Shaheem Pace gets one out to left field over the head of Andrew Scott and drives in 2. The Lightning have taken the lead here in the top of the second inning. We're through 1.5 here in Haddon Heights, 2-1.
Excuse me, Goldberg is a shortstop tonight, but he had a 400 average. Excuse me, Goldberg is a shortstop tonight, but he had a 400 average in 2023 as a junior. A homer in each of his sophomore and junior campaigns, 331 career mark and a 430 career slugging percentage. And speaking of home runs, there's a fly ball to left, and it's gone! Devin Goldberg answers on opening day with a first pitch rocket to left, and it's 1-0 Bridgewater. We were just talking about the long ball, and he stomps on the plate, mobbed at home, and Goldberg, the leadoff man, with a swing of gold. It's 1-0.
That's a good start.
Bottom of the second inning. Mikey Paley getting ready to go, or excuse me, Keith Paley getting ready to go. That one is smoked out to left field. It is over the head of Van. That's going to be extra bases for the Diamondbacks. Trotting into second base, sliding safely. It's going to be David Brown with the double. And the batter will now be number 42. Looks like Quist Sultan. So it'll be Quist Sultan and then the right fielder, Dante Washington. Made a couple of good plays in the first inning after the Lightning flew out to right in back-to-back at-bats. Brown fading off a second. First pitch from Junior at the letters high, 1-0. Again, the Diamondbacks coming into this one as the 3 seed in South Jersey NABA. The South Jersey Cobras, with just 1 loss in the regular season, are atop the bracket in the 9-team NABA National League. Deptford being at the bottom of the standings with an 0-18 regular season record. Strike called. And the Deptford team in question, when they played the Lightning for their one regular season matchup, the Lightning beat them 35-1. That's men's league baseball for you. Sultan, fly ball to right. This one's going to be for Senior at second base, takes it in without issue, and there's one away. And again, now the Diamondbacks are going to have to respond with that ringing double to left field. Obviously, an error helped bring home Pace's second run, so it only counts as a 1 RBI single. But either way, you know, we think about how the Diamondbacks have a 19-run differential on the Lightning in the regular season. They played them twice. One time the Diamondbacks won 10-0. One time the Diamondbacks won 9-0. So this is the first runs. These are the first runs that the Lightning have put on the Diamondbacks all season, dating back to April. So they'll have a little bit of an extra chip on their shoulder, given this being a single elimination wild card round. This is inside. Here's the pitch. Strike called. So again, Pace had the 2-run single. Counts 1-1. Runner on second. After the ringing double to left. Got it right down the line. Oh, time called. A good idea for Paley to release the ball there. That's the one way that pitchers can drastically increase arm injuries, is when a batter calls time just before the first pitch. They just, if you stop dead in your motion and instead of just going through with it and airing one out. Oh, he's going to throw back to second. The throw is not in time, and the throw goes into center field. Off the glove of Senior. He'll go down to third, and he'll be safe there. So errors galore here in the first 2 innings. Both teams combined with 4. The Lightning now have picked up their 3rd error, and even with a 1-run lead, if the Diamondbacks come back, and if they're going to be the ones victorious today, those 3 errors in the first 2 innings are going to be something to write home about in the game report. Up and in. Looks like 2-1 the count. Yep, 2-1 is the count. (3-1). CJ Small will be next after Rodriguez. Excuse me, after Washington. Takes it high, and Dante Washington's got a free pass. So that puts runners on the corners. Could be a double play situation here with 1 away. Here's Small, the left-hander. Small was recruited to play baseball out of high school, but he was a 4-year quarterback at Chestnut Hill, which is a D3 college in Pennsylvania. I mean, Pennsylvania's got so many good D2s and D3s. As here goes the runner. Caniglia's got to throw down to second. No, he pump fakes it, and Washington gets into second safely. So the tying and go-ahead runs now are on second and third. So after Brown had the ringing double to left and Washington walks, got a good hitting situation for the D-backs with C.J. Small up, and then Hector Sepulveda looks like he'll be next. Small gets a piece of it. This could stay in play at third, but it is foul. Just didn't look like the third baseman, Lamentier, was on his tail for that one. I don't think he wanted to run into Brown at third. Buddy of his yelling from the dugout, he's like, run through him. I mean, I don't blame him. If he runs at full speed, he probably catches that ball for out number 2. That one's high, 3-1. High and away, so Small walks and the bases are loaded. So now here's Hector Sepulveda. He's batting in the 10 slot. Bases loaded, rings one foul. Third base coach almost came up with it. Oh and 1. There's a ground ball out towards second. This one's picked up. Senior gets the tag. Small is out. Throw to first. It's a double play, and that retires the inning. We'll see if – I don't know if they're going to count the run because I don't know if Brown came in before the run scored. Either way, we're through 2. Lightning up 2-1. Two innings gone here in Haddon Heights. Max Worsta leads us off for the Lightning. This broadcast is brought to you by Rowan College of South Jersey at Gloucester County. Join the Roadrunners and become a prospective athlete of RCSJ by visiting rcroadrunners.com and filling out their prospective athlete form. You can also follow them on social media at RC Roadrunners on all platforms. Winners on the field and winners in the classroom. Join me in the Roadrunners today. Up and away. Looks like 2-0 to Worsta, so it'll be Worsta, Van, and Senior. Again, Worsta, the power bat, standing at 6'2". I mean, he's got a very menacing swing. Just like that, but this time it's a fly ball out to left field. Center fielder calls him off, and in the left center gap, it'll be an F8 scored. And there's one away in the top of the third. So after a bases loaded jam, the Lightning hold on to the lead on a 4-3 double play. Worsta now 1 for 2 on the day. Here's Van. He singled to left. The Lightning had 5 hits in the first 2 innings. 1 from Worsta and Van in the first, and then 3 total in the second, yielding 2 runs. Pace's play was an RBI single followed by an E2, but again, the Lightning have 3 errors in the first 2 innings, and they were very, I would dare say they were very lucky to get out of the jam in the second with that double play, especially with Hector Sepulveda not really running out of the box. I mean, Senior, if Senior makes the tag at second, if he runs out of the box, this game could have been tied, even with everybody moving station to station. Counts 3-0. Worsta did swing on a 2-0 pitch, and we'll see if Van gets the green light from Schmidt this time. He does not. Fastball just above the knees, and it's 3-1. I mean, we talk about, guys like Jordan Van who are hitting in the cleanup spot today. He's got a bit of a leaner figure, but he's still got that speed out of the box. And it's a little bit unorthodox, but in this kind of league, you're not thinking about lineup construction in terms of what optimizes every player's individual ability. When you're dealing with a team that's got 11 players in the dugout that have been fighting it out all season, your concern is who's going to show up today and who's going to be in the lineup. Here we go. So a ground ball to third. Scott is there. Throw to first is in time. Van did have that speed out of the box, but he is retired. And there's 2 away. So 2 up, 2 down for Small in the top of the third. Here's Mikey Sr. Lightning 2, Diamondbacks 1 here in the top of the third on an overcast Sunday morning from Haddon Heights. Inside to Senior, the second baseman. The Lightning, of course, rebranding in the 2025 offseason after being the South Jersey Spartans for several years. Again, led by Schmidt, 26 years old out of South Jersey, but also a longtime New York Mets fan. But we'll still take his business anyway. I mean, we've had clients that are Dallas Cowboys fans. We take their business anyway. It's 2-0. Up high, or excuse me, we must have had the count wrong, and Senior takes a free pass. Here is Keith Paley Jr., batting in the 6th slot as the pitcher. And again, we talk about with this lineup construction that Schmidt had to make several changes to his lineup. He originally had Luis Vargas at the shortstop spot batting leadoff, but then he had to get moved all the way down to the 9 position. And Shaheem Pace, who was batting 4th, got bumped up to the 1. He's still in left field, though, today. Paley bat on his shoulders, takes a strike, 0-1. One of the things that's interesting about this field is it looks a lot bigger than it is. It's only 300 to left, and I believe 330 to right, with a power alley of 350 in center field. Throw to first is not, oh, they got him. Tough play down at first, and it'll be a ground out to retire the side. A couple of ground balls and a walk. Lightning are kept off the board in the top of the third. We go to the bottom half. We're moving right along here in Haddon Heights, 2-1. Bottom of the third. We'll lead off the party with Tegan Gillard. That one skips away. First pitch missed. Down and away. Feels like every inning we've had the umpire tell the umpire to turn the music down. Again, in the men's league, more things come to pass, and it is a little bit more laid back and casual. Counts 1-1. Swing and a miss by Gillard that time. A recruit of Delaware County Community College. Gillard pops it up over into the Haddon Heights Public Works. Yeah, not far from Station Avenue, the Haddon Heights downtown, a bit of a crossroads between the two downtowns of Haddon Heights and Barrington on Clements Bridge Road. Grounder got on top of it. There's a simple one to third. Lamentier throws it to first, and a stretch by Schmidt is in time. And again, Schmidt was the starting left fielder, and then he switched places with Shaheem Pace. I believe Pace took right field. Yeah, it looks like Pace took right, and then Jordan Van ended up taking left field, which I think is an appropriate place in a field like this. When you're playing a very shallow center field, one of the things you're thinking about is, okay, how much ground does my center fielder have to cover? If the center field fence is 400 feet, then you probably want to put Jordan Van in center and put Max Worsta in left or right somewhere in the corner so that he can cover more ground with his agility and Van can cover more ground with his speed. However, in this situation where the park is a lot more hitter-friendly, it's not a bad idea to put Van in the short porch because you might see a ball ricochet off the wall. We see that sometimes with the Phillies. When they play in a very hitter-friendly park, like Fenway Park with the Green Monster in left, or you could arguably say something like Petco Park in San Diego, they could put a quick guy like Edmundo Sosa or Johan Rojas in left field or right field, depending on which plays more. Because you're going to see, like with Fenway Park, it's a 40-foot green wall in left field. So you're going to need somebody quick and agile to get to that ball quickly, more so than you need somebody to cover the overall ground in center field. That one lands just out of play. Counts 2-2 here. To the number 2 batter for the Diamondbacks, Gordon. Again, Gillard picked up a 5-3 ground out, and this one is floated. Center field, it's a base hit. So Gordon reaches base twice. He had an E9 in the first inning and now in the bottom of the third. Racks up a base hit with one away. Not a bad piece of hitting there. I think that definitely plays into how this infield is playing today. We talk about if you watch a golf broadcast, they'll talk about how the greens are playing. They'll say the greens are playing very fast. Well, that philosophy kind of exists in baseball too. And it's less of a philosophy and more of just a natural thing. When we're talking about how high the grass is or how wet the grass is from an overnight rain, which we had last night. We had some sporadic overnight rain, and we were good to play today. But the field was a little bit damp, and it is very humid today. Throw down to second, not in time. Senior was able to apply the tag, but getting in there easily was Gordon. Either way, though, when we talk about baseball conditions, it's always changing. The second regular season game that we did for baseball, Maple Shade at Bordentown, it was on March 25th. The first pitch the starting temperature was 40 degrees with very strong wind. That'll be a passed ball against Caniglia here. And now 2 bases advanced for Gordon. He's now the tying run 90 feet away here at the Edward Fitzgerald Memorial Field. I keep wanting to say the Edmunds Fitzgerald Memorial Field, which would still be a memorial. It would just be a memorial to a Gordon Lightfoot song instead of a memorial to Mr. Fitzgerald. That one is popped up, back out of play. They've had a couple of baseballs land in the Yeah, well, it's a fenced off municipal area with the I think they've got some high voltage stuff back there. That one's into dirt to Scott, counts full. I've played on this field a few times. I was a member of the Haddon Heights fall ball team. Played a few games here back in 2018, 2017. Ground ball, third base side, it's off the glove. Throw to first from Vargas. It's in time, but the run does score. And it'll be an RBI ground out for Andrew Scott. The game is tied 2-2. I like that piece of hitting from Scott, but even better, I like that recovery from Luis Vargas. I think that given how quick of a batter Scott is out of the 3-hole, he very easily could have just eaten that and said, I'm not going to do it. But now he gets the double win-win. They do get the run home. However, he was able to save himself from getting an error with the recovery individually, and he was able to get the second out for Sepulveda here. Carlos Sepulveda flew out to center field his first time. That one is a low. 2-0. The sign above us reading District 14 Junior Champions from 2018. That was the year that I played, but I didn't play all that many players on that team. The one player I do recognize is John D. Costanzo, who was a lefty out of Heights who graduated in 2022 and is now tearing it up over in the NJAC at TCNJ. Also played in the for the Rough Riders in Tri-County League for a few years. Strike called. There's a ground ball out to short. Vargas gathers it, and it's in time to retire the side. A clean inning, however, one run comes across on a base hit by Gordon and a run scored on a ground out off the bat of Scott. After 3 innings in Heights, it's a humid Sunday morning, and it's only going to get more so as we move along. Going to the fourth, 2-2.
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Pete Caniglia is the batter in the top of the 4th inning. It's the 6-versus-3 NABA wildcard round between the Diamondbacks and the Lightning. We're tied 2-2 in the top of the 4th. It's time for DWB Trivia Time. Today's question is, what are the only MLB teams with a stadium named after a food or beverage company as their corporate sponsor? A, the Tampa Bay Rays, B, the Cincinnati Reds, C, the Texas Rangers, or D, the Colorado Rockies? 2 of the 4 answers are correct. We'll reveal the answer in the bottom of the 4th inning. It'll be Caniglia leading us off, and he'll be followed up by Lamontier and Vargas. 7, 8, and 9 for the Lightning. Every time I think of the Lightning, I think of the Tampa Bay Lightning in the NHL as fly ball center field. This one is up. It is back. It's over the head of Gordon. And Pete Caniglia diving into second. He is safe. A nice start for the catcher, Pete Caniglia. If the Lightning win this game, the backstop has certainly put them on his shoulders. He's 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. Both to lead off their respective innings. I mean, listen, he doesn't have any RBIs on the scorecard right now, but he certainly would be responsible for 2 of the runs scored. They do have a courtesy runner for Caniglia at second. Jordan Van is running, and Lamontier fouls it back. They keep losing the baseballs to the public works plant back there. There's about 3 or 4 sitting inside the gated fence. Lamontier pops it up, unsatisfied with himself that time. Right fielder Washington calls for it, and he makes the play, 1 away. So that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Luis Vargas. I mean, Vargas had his work cut out for him in the top half, or check that bottom half of the 3rd. 2 of the 3 outs were headed his way, and saved a run, or didn't save a run, but saved an error and got an out with Sepulveda at the dish. Hit a hard grounder to short. He bobbled it on a dive. Oh, that throw is wide. Van ran into the second baseman. The throw down to third is not in time. And I think maybe the second baseman tried to make a case for an interference call. However, none will be made. I'm unsure if he was trying to argue interference or if he was just saying that he got hit a little bit on the throw back. It will count as an error. That now makes it 5 combined errors against both teams today. The Lightning have 3, the Diamondbacks have 2, and we're only in the 4th inning of a 9-inning matchup here this morning/afternoon as we go deeper into this one. I mean, we're 1 hour and 5 minutes into this thing, and we're in the top of the 4th. But that's what I like here with baseball. This is simple baseball. You're playing the fundamentals. You're not trying to hit a home run derby on every swing, and there's no pitch clock. The thing about the pitch clock in Major League Baseball is that I have said before is that it would be perfect if it had some tweaking. But the whole point of the pitch clock is to make the game shorter instead of regulating it and preventing it from getting out of hand. We were in St. Louis and Kansas City a few weeks ago, and the last game that we saw in St. Louis, it was a Cubs-Cardinals game on a Monday night, and it was 2 hours and 15 minutes. That is short for a baseball game. Very short. Almost unnaturally short. You go to leave to get food and you miss an inning. It is definitely, just missed that time on the breaking ball. The umpire explaining his reasoning on that one, which I can give him kudos for. I believe the count would be full this time to Vargas. 1 away, bottom of the order, trying to give the Lightning the lead off of C.J. Small. Got a foul tip on that one. Good piece of hitting by Vargas. And again, the key to a winning team is making sure that all parts of the order are doing their job. You don't need the top 4 to be the only ones carrying any weight on this team. If Vargas can get an RBI here and bring the speedy Van home, who, by the way, is a courtesy runner for Caniglia, and this will do it. It's a fly ball right center. Van will come in to score. Turning for second. He's going to try to stretch it into a double. Here comes the throw. It is in time. In time. They'll try to extend it. Vargas couldn't. It will still be an RBI single for the 9-hitter, and now Shaheem Pace will be the batter with 2 away. I definitely, just for the sake of argument, I was a little bit surprised that Vargas tried to extend it. I thought it was fielded rather cleanly. And Pace fouls it back. 0-1 to Pace. Had the RBI single. But Vargas contributing. As much as the Lightning might not be pleased with him going to second, this one's popped up. This one could be in play at third for Scott. Going over as the shortstop, couldn't make the play. Valiant effort, though, by the shortstop. Count is 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, or excuse me, nobody on and 2 outs. Run came home on an RBI single by Vargas. Small delivers, and he got him. First strikeout of the day for C.J. Small. He had 23 of them in the regular season, but his ERA will be going up a little bit as an RBI base hit. It will be earned against C.J. Small. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It is 3-2 in favor of the Lightning. Let's take a look at the replay of the Luis Vargas RBI single. Yeah, so I mean, the thing is about Vargas is that he's a good hitter out of the 9 slot. We're just trying to line up the video a little bit here. Got a good pitch, got something to hit, and it was a lace out to right center field. Hit it right in the gap, and it was fielded pretty cleanly. I was just a little bit surprised that they let him go, and then gets down to second, and yeah, looks like the throw beat him that time. So there's your little verdict there. But we start off to Garcia. Fouls it back. I believe the count is 1-1 because the first pitch missed outside before we came back on the air. Lightning lead at 3-2. The only batters to pick up RBIs today were Pace for the Lightning along with Vargas, who broke the stalemate in the top of the 4th. 2-1. It's Garcia, Brown, and Torres. 5, 6, and 7. Paley delivers up and in. The biggest thing here for Paley is keeping that ball in the strike zone. When you look at these two pitchers head-to-head, Small has 6 walks and 23 Ks, 24 after that first strikeout. And then Paley, 40 walks, 40 Ks, 35 walks. That is smoked in the left field like a Kansas City barbecue. That's going to be a base hit. Garcia will go down to second base. They're going to try it, and he gets in there. An aggressive send, but a little bit of a slow reaction by Mikey Sr. makes it a double for Garcia. And this could very well be a high-scoring affair, just a little back-and-forth action here. But there's squaring up a ball, and then there's what Garcia did there. I think if the humidity was a little bit lower today, that ball could have flown a lot farther. And, again, I was, just like with the Luis Vargas hit, I was surprised that he extended it to second, but this time he was able to do so successfully. Brown shows a bunt. That one was well high. Home plate umpire says he pulled back in time, and it's 1-0. Let's talk about DWB trivia time. We mentioned it in the top of the fourth inning. Today's question is, and today you actually have 2 right answers. Today's question is, what are the only Major League Baseball stadiums to have a food and beverage corporate sponsor in their stadium name? Hold on here. Base hit in the left field. That will be Garcia going to third. He's going to come around. Here comes the throw to the plate. Caniglia's got it, but it's not in time. RBI single. Brown gets to second base. Garcia scores. We are tied up 3-3. So back-to-back knocks for the Diamondbacks, and Brown now 2 for 2. He advanced to second on the throw. So it'll be an RBI single. But the options for today's trivia time with Sultan coming up to bat will be A, the Tampa Bay Rays, B, the Cincinnati Reds, C, the Texas Rangers, or D, the Colorado Rockies. My producer today, my wonderful mother, Donna Wilkins, you have 2 correct answers. What are your guesses? Okay, D and... You're going to say A and D?
Yeah.
Well, I have good news for you. You are correct.
Okay.
Cincinnati Reds and the Texas Rangers were incorrect. The Tampa Bay Rays, named after the Tropicana Company, which of course make orange juice, and the Colorado Rockies, Coors Field. Now, I'm going to get some comments asking about Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Here's the thing about Busch Stadium. It is not named after the Busch beer. In fact, the Busch beer is named after the stadium. In 1952, they wanted, when the St. Louis Cardinals were playing in Sportsman's Park in St. Louis, they wanted to name their stadium Budweiser Stadium. But there was an unwritten, unofficial rule in Major League Baseball that had that had prohibited the naming of beer. Oh, Sultan's coming up. Sultan's coming up limping the first base. He's going to be safe on a throwing error, and the run scores. So Quist Sultan, he was going to be out because he was limping up the line, but a bad throw from Vargas will bring home the run. So Brown scores. Sultan is now at first. He's going to try to run it out down the line. I think he'll be okay, but with the Diamondbacks being a little bit short on players, I don't know who they would put in as a long-term replacement. But we'll see what he's got there. I don't know if it's just a cramp or if he pulled something, but either way, this is a men's league. It might be, we're not talking about we're not talking about professional conditioning here. One's outside to Washington, Dante Washington. But as we were saying, the story with Busch Stadium is that in 1952, when they wanted to rename their stadium from Sportsman Park to Budweiser Stadium, Major League Baseball said no. It wasn't in the rules. Sultan's going to get down to second. He's taking his time, and he's safe. He just walked into second. He literally just walked into second base. But now he's coming off. They're putting in Hector Sepulveda at second base. You know what I think he was doing? I think he was literally walking to second base to get out, because that's what it looked like. It looked like he literally just started going to second base because I think he was hurting and he had something going on and he needed something to go back to the dugout. So by accident, he's now at second. The batter is Washington. Now, here's the problem with Hector Sepulveda running at second base. With him running, if Washington and Small walk, then the bases would be loaded and they need to put somebody else in at third, because then Sepulveda has to bat. Or no, excuse me. That is Carlos Sepulveda at second, not Hector Sepulveda. My bad. That is ball 4, though, and Washington walks for the second time today for C.J. Small, who also walked in his first at-bat. Interesting stuff here. But yeah, closing out what we were talking about, Schmidt's coming out to the mound as a walk to Paley piles up. But so what they did in St. Louis was they decided to name the stadium Busch Stadium after the family, and then immediately after they created a sub-brand of Budweiser beer called Busch Beer that we know of today. Same goes with Wrigley Field. That is not named after the Wrigley Gum Company, which makes like 5 Gum, Juicy Fruit, Double Mint, and a couple other brands. It's named after the Wrigley family that owned the Wrigley Gum Company before it was bought out by Mars. But yes, long-winded answer is that. The short-winded answer is D, the Colorado Rockies, and A, the Tampa Bay Rays. Skips into right field, past the dive of Schmidt. Here comes Sepulveda to the plate. The throw is up the line, and that will score another run. It's a 3 spot for the D-backs. They lead it 5-3 on an RBI single down the right field line by Small. C.J. Small helps his own cause on the hill. It's 5 batters, no outs, and Keith Paley's in a lot of trouble as it's now 5-3 with Hector Sepulveda at the dish. He grounded into a 4-3 double play in his first at-bat. Up and in. So Garcia with a double, Brown with an RBI single, Quist Sultan had an RBI, or rather a run scored on an E6, then Washington walked, and Small with an RBI single to bring you the 3 runs so far. And still nobody out. And again, you wonder, with Donovan Schmidt coming out to the mound from first base earlier in this inning, checking on Paley, seeing what he's got left in the tank, they may have to go to the bullpen earlier than they expected. That one is high at the letters, and it's 3-0. It's not that he's badly missing the strike zone. He's hitting right around the letters, and sometimes he's hitting a little bit low, but it is that high-low axis that he just really isn't hitting the mark on right now, and you need that in a game like this. Strike called. Sepulveda tossed the bat. Doesn't gain you any favors with the home plate umpire, but again, Tegan Gillard will be on deck in the leadoff spot, and this time, no question about it, it's ball 4, skips in, and now Schmidt walking out to the mound, and for a second mound visit, it would look like it would be a pitching change. However, Schmidt is now, I mean, he's kind of out there, but I think he's letting him go. I mean, I think, again, with the roster limitations that you have, the Lightning are trying to stretch this out as long as he can. You're hoping that Gillard hits one on the ground and you get a double play and get out and at least get 1 run home and allow Paley to end on a good note. Because that's what you want. You want your pitcher to end their outing on a good note. You don't want Gillard to hit a grand slam and then you be forced into making the change now that your back is pinned against the wall in what would be a 7-run inning. He's outside, though. It's 2-0. He's not gaining himself any favors here. Paley has allowed 5 walks in his first 3 innings today, including 2 in this inning. 1 to Washington and 1 to Hector Sepulveda, who stands on first. Strike. And now I think if you're the manager of this Diamondbacks team, you're telling your guys, don't swing unless you have to. Because you know a couple of times per at-bat you think he's going to miss the strike zone, especially early on. This has turned into a very conservative approach for the Diamondbacks. This time, Gillard does get the bat off of his shoulders, and he swings and misses. It's 2-2. Yeah, I think if the Lightning can get out of this funk a little bit, even if they give up 1 run, you end Paley's outing on a good note in 3 1/3. and then you turn to the bullpen, see what else you can get in the tank to get some extra outs. He does miss out there, and it's 3-2. And kind of the biggest gut punch you can get is a bases-loaded walk, which we've seen plenty of them. Not today, but just in general with our summer league coverage when pitchers run out of gas. We've got a full count here, and he will swing and miss. Gillard goes down on strikes, and there are two away here, rather one away in the bottom of the fourth inning. So the Lightning got out of a bases-loaded jam in the second with a 4-3 double play. So with one away, that door reopens for an inning-ending double play to get out of the jam. First pitch from Paley is outside, 1-0. Here in Haddon Heights, as we approach the 10:30 mark on this wild card round, we're sitting at 80 degrees with an 84% humidity. Feels like we're in Florida right now. Here's the pitch. Up and away, 2-0. Five to 3 Diamondbacks. They've scored 3 runs this inning as they have taken Paley into some trouble and behind the woodshed in this inning. It's going to be a high ball that missed in. 3-0 count to Gordon. He's got some smiles. I think he's a little bit relieved that it didn't hit him. And that will be ball 4. Had a feeling that was coming at one point, but it's a bases-loaded walk, and now Schmidt's making his way, or he was making his way out to the mound. I think he's confirming who he wants to come in next. And again, this feels so out of character, but the first baseman is going to make a pitching change because that's how things work around here. That'll be the end of the day for Keith Paley. He gives up 6 walks, and as a part of a 4-run barrage, his day is done after 3 1/3. He ends the day with 2 strikeouts, and he had some good outs made, but at the end of the day, a bases-loaded walk ends his outing here in the wild card round. It appears that Donovan Schmidt has called upon the talents of Jordan Van to pitch. He will move into left field. We'll see where or what changes are made, but we've got a DWB pitching change. Well, there you go. There's the change confirmed for us. Van is the new pitcher. We'll be right back after this.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It is the responsibility of all of us to make sure that our friends, family, and anybody who we hold dear in our lives is feeling well. The problem with spotting mental health issues is that the symptoms aren't that obvious. Just because someone is okay or appears okay on the outside doesn't mean that they're okay on the inside. It's important that if they are in distress, that they call the right people and they get the help that they need. And it is very important that we treat each other with respect, regardless of who you are or where you come from. But it is just as important that we treat ourselves with respect, regardless of the situation going on in our lives. If you're in distress, you can call this number, 988, or you can visit any of these websites if you're not in distress, but would like to learn more information about mental health awareness and research.
Jack Mostero, 2 for 3 with a strikeout, a double, and a single. Looking to play hero. He's going to line this one into right center field, and that's going to drop. That's going to do it if they don't get a throw down. Mostero's going to second, and Danza's coming home. Sectional champions, Gloucester Catholic. They do it in a walk-off fashion as GC with Mostero playing hero. An unbelievable
Bases loaded, one away in the fourth. First pitch by Scott is foul. We have a new pitcher on the hill for the Lightning. It's Jordan Van, the right-hander. He moves in from left field. Keith Paley Jr. does a 1-for-1 swap with manager Donovan Schmidt. Paley Jr. in left, and Van moves from left field to the hill. 0-1 is a strike called. You can immediately tell that zip on the fastball there from Van. One of 5 pitchers to record an outing with the Lightning this year. He's got a 4-1 record in 7 appearances. Little dribbler. This could get a run home. Senior's got to get a play. He will ground it out to first. A tough play. It's out number 2, but it's run number 5 here in the 4th inning for the Diamondbacks. They now lead this thing 7-3. With Carlos Sepulveda batting, this is going to be the 10th batter for the Diamondbacks. I keep having to hesitate because I keep wanting to say Arizona. They've got similar jerseys, and they're just called the Diamondbacks. Not to mention there's the Philadelphia A's in this league as well, which is actually kind of a cool nod to the old days. Runners on second and third. Sepulveda fouls it back. 1-1's the count. We've got a Husky on campus today. I didn't know there was another Husky. I mean, DWB has to be interrupted for Huskies. Sepulveda pops it up. First base side, Schmidt calls for it. And right on top of the line, he gets it. Inning over. Damage done. 10 batters, 5 runs. The Diamondbacks have taken a bite out of the Lightning. Quite literally. It's 7-3 after 4 here in Haddon Heights. Through 4, here's C.J. Small. Donovan Schmidt, first pitch. Hits it out to left field. This one's pretty deep. It's going back. It is off the wall. Schmidt's going to have a double. And again, you can see that second baseman, he's been limping a little bit. He was continuing to have issues fielding that ball. A double to left, a bit of a nonchalant swing from Schmidt. Since Schmidt is a Mets fan, you can compare it to Ray Ordonez a little bit, but it is a double to left on the first pitch of the 5th, and down by 4. Schmidt is actually going to be run for by Pace. The last batted out. I wonder if they're going to try to put, that is, I mean, maybe it's a rule that you can have a courtesy runner at any time. Worsta, left field. Left center gap. Garcia and Gordon going over. Garcia makes the catch. Sans cap. And there's one away. One down now for the cleanup man and pitcher, Jordan Van. Van got 2 outs to end the inning, got a ground out to second base, and then a pop out to first caught by Schmidt to retire the side. Time called by Small. Schmidt now 1 for 3 after the double. He had 2 flyouts in his first 2 ABs today. And then Worsta flew out to left. He's also 1 for 3. High scoring affair so far as we approach the midway point. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Van and then Michael Sr., the second baseman, due up for the Lightning as they trail by 4 runs. Van pops it up. This one is up there, third base side. Scott looks for it. Scott converges with his shortstop, Brown, and makes the catch for the second out. A little bit of walk-up music for Senior. I mean, they've been playing it intermittently today from somebody's speaker in the dugout. Electric Feel by MGMT. Haven't heard that song in a while. That album turns 20 years old next year, released in 2006. Considering the fact that I turned 20 years old in November. I'm not ready. That is my mother on the production today, by the way. She's been helping us out. We were talking with some folks before the game, and I said, when you have a 9 a.m. Sunday League game and you text a group chat of 18 to 21-year-olds, who's going to wake up at 8 a.m. on a Sunday? The DWB crew will. Again, big thanks to Donovan Schmidt for having us out here today, not too far from DWB headquarters. That's a foul ball down the left field line. That ball was smoked by Mikey Sr. That goes deep towards the train tracks here in West Atlantic. Not too far, again, from the 2 downtowns separating these 2 boroughs, Haddon Heights and Barrington. 1-1 count to Senior. Pace is the runner on second. Again, running for Schmidt, who defensively is at first base today. He's sitting at the far end of the dugout. And again, these players dealing with not heat, but humidity today. That one smoked at third, caught by Scott, and the inning is over. So that's not the inning that the Lightning wanted after giving up 5 to the Diamondbacks. They do get a leadoff double off the bat of Schmidt, but nothing more. A couple of flyouts and a line out to third to retire the threat. We are halfway home here in Haddon Heights on this humid Sunday morning. It's 7-4 Diamondbacks. We are halfway done here in Haddon Heights at the Edward Fitzgerald Memorial Field. This broadcast is brought to you by DAWG Professional Wrestling, Dog Pro Wrestling. The Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators are New Jersey's premier pro wrestling organization with high-flying events and nonstop entertainment throughout the Garden State. For more information on future events and ticketing, including their upcoming events at Rowan University, visit DAWGProWrestling.com. Garcia leads us off in the bottom of the fifth inning versus Van. Changeup misses just below the letters of his Titus Sports Academy jersey, and it's 1-1. Garcia smoked a double to left his last time. Would have been a single in most circumstances, but a little bit of a slow pickup by Van and a slow tag by Senior allowed Garcia to advance to second and still have it called a double in the scorecard. Van delivers inside. Looks like count will be 3-1 here. Garcia, Brown, and Sultan. Question is Sultan going to hit? Because he's been dealing with some kind of strain. He limped up the first base line when he had a base hit, and he had some trouble in the field as well. That ball is crushed. Deep left field. This is playable, though. Something about the ball just did not carry, and Garcia with a 10 out of 10 swing and a 2 out of 10 result. Fly ball to left, one away. That would have been a good follow-up, though, to a 5-run inning. Trust me, a leadoff home run would have been great, but even at a hitter-friendly field like this, it just feels like the ball isn't carrying today. But it's still creating a high-scoring environment. I mean, 7-4 in the bottom of the fifth inning, followed up a 5-run frame for the Diamondbacks in the bottom of the fourth, where they batted 10. Pitch from Van to Brown as a strike. 1-1. Brown is 2 for 2. Double and a single. His last counted for an RBI in the bottom of the fourth inning. It was the first of 5 to score for the D-backs. That one's low. One more thing that I thought about as a final anecdote to the trivia time question. It would have been 3. Would have been Tropicana Field. It would have been Coors Field in Denver. And there's strike called for strike 2. It also would have been Minute Maid Park in Houston, but they changed their name in the past offseason to Daikin Park, which makes air conditioners. They're a Japanese company. Strike 3. Nice curveball from Van that time. He picks up his first strikeout of the afternoon / actually morning, because it's still just about 11. And, well, Quist Sultan will bat. So maybe he's taken some ibuprofen and maybe he's figured out whatever's going on, but 2 away here in the bottom of the fifth as we cross the halfway point here today. Strike called. Van definitely hitting the strike zone here a lot more efficiently. He's got some good fastball command too, and I think that these Diamondbacks players are a little bit off kilter by the fact that they were used to seeing control out of the strike zone a little bit and less fastball speed. Now they're seeing a fastball that does catch the strike zone a lot more. So their hitting psyche, again, these are not players that are going to be seeing every pitch like a collegiate or professional athlete would. They're still athletes, but the psyche can take a little bit of a different time to adjust. A little tapper to Van, and Sultan barely leaves the box, inning over. A 5-run inning by the Diamondbacks is followed up by zeros on the board from Jordan Van. A fly out, a strikeout, and a tap out right back to the mound. We're through 5 here in Heights, 7-3. Keith Paley Jr. is the batter to lead off the top of the 6th inning here for the Lightning. Diamondbacks lead it 7-3, a clean 5th for Jordan Van, a fly out, a tap out to the mound, and a strikeout. C.J. Small still on the hill, the Chestnut Hill product and the left-hander. Paley offered a bunt, the left fielder now. Paley was the starting pitcher who went 3 1/3 innings, yielding 6 walks and being a big part of that Diamondbacks rally in the bottom of the 4th inning. But he was taken out, and Van has been at the helm ever since. It was a really good momentum shift for the Lightning, though, to go from 10 batters, 5 runs, and a handful of miscues, now to a 1-2-3 inning. Now that momentum can kind of shift in your favor a little bit if you play your cards right, because Small has still been very good out there, even with his mistakes. Paley foul down the third base line. It's 1-2. As we said, 80 degrees at first pitch, but the humidity has been what's been killing us today, figuratively. 85% humidity, and we had some rain overnight all the way up until, well, actually we had some light drizzles after first pitch in the first inning, right around 9:15. But that was it. That was all we had. Pitch from Small. Outside. Small turned his back to home plate, and now the count is full. And again, it's not going to gain you any favors with the umpire. Here's the 3-2. Fastball drilled on the ground. Scott can't get there. It's a base hit. Paley Jr. gets on top of a ball and singles to left. It's his first of the day. And the Lightning have a leadoff base hit for Pete Caniglia. So right now, top of the 6th inning, you're down to the final 12 outs, and you've got 4 runs to skirmish across. Caniglia pops it up. Brown is there, 1 away. First pitch fly out, now brings up Lamontier. Again, not sure, I think I mentioned it earlier, but we're not sure if Dominic Lamontier is related to Kyle Lamontier of Vineland, a Division I commit. And one of the things that we've been talking about with the Lightning today, they have 3 runs, but they have 9 hits. So their offensive production has not gone unnoticed, but it's partially gone unrewarded, if anything. They had 2 hits in the first inning, didn't score. They had 3 hits in the second, got 2 runs out of that. 2 hits in the fourth, got 1 run out of it, and then another one in the 5th and another one in the 6th. So a lot of that difference has been the first inning. They had 2 flyouts and then immediately had 2 base hits off the bat of Worsta and off of Van. That one's in the dirt. They will back pick to first. Runner comes back in standing, but he's safe. That's a good reaction there by Tegan Gillard right there, or Gillard, excuse me. But, you know, one of the things that we talk about is that these runners, they have to be more aware of where they are. They have to be more aware of where the ball is. Because you have to kind of be doubly aware. You have to be aware of where the ball is, and you have to be aware of where you are. Am I far enough away to where I have to dive back into the bag as a base runner? Am I close enough to where, you know, what speed do I have to go? Do I have to sprint back, or can I, you know, kind of meander back a little bit? Small might initiate a double play. Here's a throw. It's in time. They go 1-6-3, and C.J. Small gets the Lightning in the bottle and traps it with a double play, and they'll go around the horn to end the inning. Diamondbacks still up by 4 after 6. They get a base hit by Paley, but nothing more. We'll be right back. Bottom of the 6th inning, Jordan Van ready to go. He faces Dante Washington, who has walked twice. Strike called. It's 8, 9, and 10 for the Diamondbacks. Washington, Small, and Hector Sepulveda. We'll have to make the distinction with Carlos and Hector in the same lineup. Out of the 6 plate appearances that the Diamondbacks have had in the bottom 3 positions, 4 of the 6 have ended with a walk, and 5 of 6 have ended with getting on base. There were 4 walks between Washington, Small, and Sepulveda. A base hit by Small, which drove in a run, and then Sepulveda was the odd egg out, the odd man out, with a 4-3 double play in the second. Washington puts the barrel on the ball and hits it to right center field. He's reached base 3 times and now has a base hit to add to his resume today. It's always impressive when you can reach base 3 times in a game, but it's always more impressive when there's a hit attached to it. Again, not exactly by any means a perfect piece of hitting, but you take what you can get in that situation with a 4-run lead, and now you try to carry that with Van versus Small, the left-hander. Again, out of Chestnut Hill, in the dirt. Schmidt had a good jump off of the bag in case they had to back pick, but nothing there. And again, another good block there by Caniglia. Both of these guys are both very good defensive catchers, Caniglia and Gillard. Both have been blocking the ball very well. Runner goes. Here comes the throw from Caniglia. Throw down to second is not in time. Was just a little bit up and wide that time, but it was a good throw by the catcher. And as we said, Gillard and Caniglia, both very talented defensive catchers. And the errors that we have seen behind the plate, because both catchers have committed an error today, they've been throwing errors from non-stolen bases, from stuff like wild pitches. Which, again, as much as that gets credited in the scorecard, there's nothing in a baseball scorecard that accounts for nuance or for circumstance. Washington at second after the base hit. Got a hitter's count to Small. Van delivers a high leg kick. Oh, my goodness. That was almost a Hideki Matsui leg kick right there. We've got a 2-1 count to Small. Small has also reached base twice, a walk and an RBI single to his credit today. Drove in the 4th out of 5 runs in the 4th for the Diamondbacks. Three balls, 2 strikes. Full count to the pitcher Small, who has remained in this game after 6 innings. Ground ball, first base side. Easy play for Schmidt. He'll take it to the bag himself. And the runner does go down to third in Washington. So a 3 unassisted ground out to Schmidt. Off the bat of Small is the first out, and it brings up the number 10 hitter, Hector Sepulveda. Big thing here for Sepulveda, get the ball in the air. It's not required, but I think getting the ball on the ground with a quick infield like this, you've got Vargas at short, you've got Schmidt at first. They did make a change at second. That's not Mikey Sr. down there. And you've still got Lamontier at third, who's got a strong arm. Strike called. 2-1 is the count to Sepulveda. If my roster reads correctly, that is Hunter Masters at second base, replacing Michael Sr. 2-1. Strike called there, 2-2. Sepulveda winces and disagrees. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Dante Washington is on third, and the batter Tegan Gillard will be next for the D-backs. Swing and a miss. He offers it a changeup flailed at it a little bit, but it's the second strikeout for Van in his relief effort today, and there's 2 away as the lineup card turns over to the catcher, Gillard. It's funny we talk about the Diamondbacks. There aren't many rattlesnakes in New Jersey. At least not that I know of. I mean, that's the whole reason why the Arizona Diamondbacks are called what they are. It was decided by the ownership when they were unveiled. The Diamondbacks and the Rays were actually unveiled as early as 1994, but they didn't start playing until 1998 in the National League. Hit Gillard right in the backside towards his, looks like towards his shoulder blade. Went up to Jordan Van, and no hard feelings, although that was a hard pitch. And it does put runners on the corners here. Washington looking to avoid getting stranded on third with Gordon the batter. He's also reached base all 3 times. An E9, a single, and a bases-loaded walk to cap off the rally in the 4th. But it's funny, Major League Baseball is actually the league that has gone the longest without expansion. They last expanded, as we said, in 1998 with the Rays, then called the Devil Rays until 2007, and the Diamondbacks. The NFL last expanded in 2002 with the Houston Texans. The NBA expanded in I believe in 2010. No, I don't think that's right. I know that they had a team that was created around the mid-2000s. I want to say it was the New Orleans Pelicans. It used to be the New Orleans Hornets, and then they moved to Charlotte. But the NHL has expanded as recently as 2022 with the Seattle Kraken. Strike called, he disagrees, and the inning is over. Gordon strikes out on a changeup on the inside corner, and it's 2 Ks to end the inning for Jordan Van. Dante Washington, who got to third rather early in the frame, he remains there. He's stranded. We go to the 7th. It's 7-3 Diamondbacks. 6 innings gone. Lightning down to their last 9 outs here in the wild card round. They're at their home field, but today they are donning their road colors as they trail it 7-3. A 5-run inning by the Diamondbacks was the difference maker. It was back and forth for the first couple of frames, including a 2-run single by Shaheem Pace, who's in the on-deck circle. However, the Diamondbacks got 10 batters, 5 runs across in the bottom of the 4th inning, and the score has not budged a bit since. No scoring since the bottom of the 4th inning. Vargas is the batter. It's 9-1-2 for the Lightning. Vargas, Pace, and Schmidt, the player manager. As the count is 2-0 from the left-hander Small. Popped up. This one, well, he gave it an effort, but it is foul, and it's 2-1. Don't forget, we've got 3 Tri-County games on the books for this upcoming week. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in the 3 Tri-County play-in series. 5 teams got a bye. 6 teams will be playing for 3 spots in the first round. The 3 games that will be played, 11-seed Pine Barrens Phantoms versus the 6-seed Cinnaminson Crew. The 10-seed Vineland Gardens versus the 7-seed Blackwood Bears. And there's a strike called to Vargas. Count's going to be full here. The last series is the 9-seed Burlington Township Pirates versus the 8-seed Camden Reds. Across the 3 days, we will be covering 1 game in each series. The 5 teams that got a bye were the Washington Township Senators in the 1 seed, the South Jersey Grizzlies in the 2 seed, the Cherry Hill Pittman Bad Guys in the 3 seed, the Cherry Hill Third Baseman in the 4 seed, and the Haddonfield Rough Riders in the 5 seed. Never thought I would hear The Fray as a walk-up song. That one's a throw down to second. Vargas is safe. Good throw from Gillard that time to get in there quickly, but Vargas does get down to second after the throw from Gillard. Pace offers that one foul. I believe it's 1-1. Pace had an RBI single in the 2nd inning. A 2nd run came across on an E2. He's otherwise 1 for 3. Fly out to right, a single for an RBI, and a strikeout. 1-1 from Small. Inside corner called a strike. Pace nods in acknowledgement, and it's 1-2. Throw back to second, not in time. They made another change in the field because Garcia is now at shortstop. I believe that change was made last inning, and Washington is now in left. I think Vargas got his hand caught or trapped while he was down there, while he was diving back to the bag. Doesn't appear to be any harm or foul, though. In the dirt, cricket pitch, throw back to second. He dove back in there. He swiped at the jersey, but couldn't get anything there. And it's 2-2. Almost took some wickets off that time as it's 2-2. Time called before the pitch by Small. The Lightning dugout applauds because he kind of put C.J. Small off his rhythm that time. We'll see how the next pitch responds. 2-2. Ground ball puts it in play. Scott has trouble with it. It's in the air. It drops. Runner holds at second. And Pace gets to first safely. That should be a base hit, but we'll see how the home scorebook scores it. There's definitely some nuance in that, but Donovan Schmidt is the batter. Runners on first and second, nobody out. A walk and a single in the 9 and 10 slot, or 9 and 1 slots. Small steps off. Schmidt 1 for 3. He's had 2 flyouts in this one and then followed that up with a double in the 5th, but did not come around to score. First pitch. Schmidt, fly ball, left field. Out towards the left center gap. And Gordon is there in center to make the play, 1 away. Well, if there's one guy that I don't want to face in a situation like this, it's Max Worsta. Worsta 1 for 3 today. Worsta this year batting .608. He's had 3 home runs. He's 31 for 51 and has played in 15 games this year for the Lightning out of the 17 they played in the regular season. Here's a 1-0. Worsta got under it. That's a big break for the Diamondbacks. It's in the left field. They've got to send the runner back, and he is safe. So now the batter is Van. Two on, 2 out after 2 flyouts. There's a ground ball, third base side, and Scott tags the bag, inning over. A promising frame for the Lightning, but nothing out of it. A walk, a single, and then 2 flyouts and a ground out to third bring a whimper to the end of the inning. It's stretch time here in Haddon Heights. However, I will not be volunteering to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." They'll just have to do it for themselves. It's 7-3. We'll be right back. Stretch time here in Haddon Heights. Bottom of the 7th inning. Jordan Van versus Andrew Scott. Van on the mound, Cornelia behind the dish. Got a piece of the umpire that time. Misses away. It's funny how baseball is the only sport where at a predetermined time we sing a song for like a minute and a half. 2-1 is to count to Scott. The funny thing is that it was written by composers who had never seen a baseball game before writing the song. It was originally written as attached with sheet music, and it was intended to be played at vaudeville theaters during the Roaring '20s. And the first time it was actually played at a baseball game was in Game 4 of the 1934 World Series. It was written in 1908 as a waltz song by Jack Norworth and Albert von Tilzer. And it actually has 4 verses in it, but we only sing the first verse, which ends that, so it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. That's a base hit to center by Scott. So after it was written, it was played in a lot of theaters, but it was written, or it was inspired while Jack Norworth was on a subway train in New York. There was a sign that read, "Baseball Today, Polo Grounds." Now, the Polo Grounds was where the New York Giants, not the New York Giants football team, the New York Giants baseball team, played up until the 1960s when they moved to San Francisco and played in Candlestick Park. Oh, look out, Jordan Van. He almost got his head taken off. A base hit by Sepulveda. He falls to his behind, and back-to-back base hits by Scott and Sepulveda look to extend the lead for the Diamondbacks. All smiles for Van, though. He seems to be okay. And now, well, if there's one guy that I didn't want hitting the ball back to the mound, it's Garcia, considering how hard he hit his last ball, a deep fly out to left. But the New York Giants played at the Polo Grounds up until the early 60s. Now, it was a field that was 470 feet to center field and 270 down the line. It was a football stadium that was never reconfigured for baseball. It was basically like a giant rectangle. And many fans of the video game MLB The Show love playing at the Polo Grounds for its unique dimensions. Runner goes. Here he goes to third. It's a strike called, and he got him. Cornelia with a throw down to third. It gets Sepulveda to second, so the double steal is only half successful. And there's one away as Scott's runner, Gordon, is retired. Came up a little bit iffy on the play. Might have gotten some dirt in his eye as it kicked up after he slid in. He's attending to his left eye as he returns to the dugout. Count is 1-1. Garcia dealing with a runner on second as they look to extend the lead for the first time since the 4th inning when the Diamondbacks took the lead on their 5-run inning that has had the score at a standstill since then, 7-3. In fact, the score hasn't changed since Jordan Van came in the bottom of the 4th inning in relief for Keith Paley Jr. Strike is called. Count is 1-2 to Garcia. 1 for 3, strikeout, double, and a flyout. Ripped foul. And then Brown will be the batter next. He's 2 for 3 with an RBI. I think that ball got stuck in the... There's a couple of baseballs stuck in the apparatus back behind home plate with the chain link fence. That ball is hit well. Right center field. It's up, it's back, it's off the bottom of the wall. Sepulveda will come in easily. Going to second is Garcia. And again, scoring is Sepulveda from second. It's an RBI double for Garcia. And for the first run today since the 4th, Diamondbacks have extended the lead. It's 3 straight hits. And it's now 8-3. 5-run lead for the Diamondbacks here in wild card round. Runner on second. Here's Brown. Oh, the joys of having a headset where you can hear everything. That ball's crushed out to left field. Oh, it's off the glove. Paley had trouble with it. Here comes Garcia to the plate. He will score. RBI double off the bat of Brown. They extend the lead. It is now 9-3. This is looking a lot closer to the regular season matchups that the Lightning and the Diamondbacks had, as 4 straight hits, back-to-back RBIs, although that one will be scored as an E7. It is the 4th Lightning error of the game. And now the batter will be Dante Washington. He's got that very, very crouched stance, which has been partially why he picked up 2 walks. Now here's another fly ball. They're attacking them early. Worsta makes the catch in center. They hold the runner, and there's 2 away. So here is Small, batting in the 9 slot. But like I was saying, it is kind of funny how it's become second nature to us to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" in the bottom of the 7th inning after every game. But a ground ball to second will interrupt our storytelling, and the Diamondbacks have made it worthwhile. They score 2 runs on RBI double by Garcia and a E7 to left that gets charged against Paley, and it brings home the 2nd run of the inning. It's a total of 9 on the day for the Diamondbacks. The Lightning have 6 outs to get their act together. They trail by 6. We'll be right back. Is the batter to lead off the top of the 8th. C.J. Small is still pitching. I think that now that the Diamondbacks have a comfortable lead, I think that the psyche has shifted towards, okay, let's keep our pitchers as long as we can, because when the Diamondbacks would play next week, I would presume it would be versus like somebody like the Philadelphia A's. There's a ground ball. Out. Whoa, it's bobbled by Garcia. Throw to first, not in time. And Donovan Schmidt tells his guys it could be something like that. You never know. They're aware that they need the spark. But now the question is, who is the source of said spark? We get it started with an E4 that Senior reaches on. Here comes a bunt. Second time Paley's attempted it. Lefty's got a disadvantage. He's safe. Senior has to go back to second. He is out at second base. They backpicked it there. Senior tried to bite off more than he could chew. He just overran the bag by a hair too much. I think he was expecting maybe an overthrow. It is a bunt single for Paley Jr., but a costly out number one comes at the hands of Michael Sr. Here's Pete Cornelia, batting .267 this year for the Lightning. Small, delivers, it's low. One 0 count, one away, and a runner on first. 9-run game. That one's low. From his knees, Gillard couldn't get back there in time. Two 0 count. This time a strike called to Cornelia. Nods in acknowledgement. And it's 2-1. They do have an arm warming up behind the shed in the bullpen. Three 1 is the count. Cornelia getting some advice from his dad, sitting down the first base line. He's in a good hitter's count. We'll see what he can do here with Paley Jr. on first. Small delivers, and he misses. A lot of confidence in that at bat from Cornelia that time. And I like that. I like the fact that Cornelia didn't let the bat off his shoulders at all, and he really just let it ride to him. He knows right now Small is at 7 1/3 innings on the hill. That's long for a college pitcher. And considering he's let up a couple amount of walks too, he's gonna be that pitcher is gonna be taking a lot of ibuprofen at the end of the game. His arm is gonna be like a Stretch Armstrong. Here is Lamontier Jr. It's in the dirt. The third baseman is 1 for 3. He's got a single in the second inning. He scored on Shaheem Pace's RBI knock in the second. Grounded into a double play in the sixth. That one skips in the dirt. Another good block by Gillard. And dealing with, it would have been bases loaded. As much as I try not to say what if, you have to say what if in this situation. 6-run game, could have had the bases loaded. Lamontier over the head of Small. This could be a play for 2. They flip it to second. He got him. That's a tough one there. Schmidt disagrees. Van is retired. And Vargas is the batter. So the first out comes with heartbreak for Michael Sr. The second out comes with controversy for Jordan Van, who is, as the pinch runner for Cornelia, was retired on what will be scored as a 4-6 fielder's choice. It was a good play, but I thought maybe it beat him. Now Vargas, slow roller. We'll see if he gets the out here, and they do. Man, What a tough break for the Lightning, as they have an out that did not go their way, and they had a second out that they just ran into. They do not score, and going to the bottom of the 8th, this should be the last hacks for the Diamondbacks. We'll see what they've got in the tank. They lead by 6. Well, it looks like, if anything, the Lightning's pitching volume will be just 2 pitchers today. Keith Paley Jr. and Jordan Van, who has taken on a long relief role. Strike called to Hector Sepulveda, 10-1-2 for the Diamondbacks, who lead by 6. Michael Sr. is back in the game at second base, not replacing, but switching out with Hunter Masters, who had a brief appearance defensively. It is Sepulveda, Hector, Gillard, and Gordon for the Diamondbacks, who added on 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. One on an RBI double by Garcia, who smoked the ball to left, and then an E7 brought home the second run off the bat of Brown, who has reached base 3 times today. Up and in, Sepulveda still with the bat on his shoulders. He's 0 for 2, a double play in the 2nd, a walk in the 4th, and a strikeout swinging in the 6th. Wavering at a changeup outside. Van delivers at the letters for a strike. Full count, 3-2. With this being a single elimination bracket, the Lightning did put up a good fight as the 6th seed. The Diamondbacks a couple of games ahead of them in the regular season. And strike 3 called. Sepulveda goes down on strikes. It is the 3rd strikeout for Jordan Van. Check that, the 4th. No, actually, he's much further along than I thought. That's his 5th strikeout in relief for Jordan Van. The Diamondbacks, with a record of 13-5 in the regular season, the Lightning actually had the fourth best run differential of all teams in the National Division. The best by far was the South Jersey Cobras, who went 17-1 and had a run differential of plus 161. The Diamondbacks were second with 96. The Philadelphia A's were in third with 64, and the Lightning were in fourth with 51. The only other teams with a positive run differential were the two teams separating the Diamondbacks and the Lightning, the South Jersey Hornets with 33 and the Cherry Hill Chiefs with 25. Belmar, Deptford, and the South Jersey Bulldogs all had negative run differentials, with Deptford having a negative run differential of 212, only scoring 58 runs in the 18-game regular season. But the Lightning came into this game right around 500 at 9-8. 7.5 games back of first. That'll be a free pass to Gillard. And Cornelia with a quick throw to the mound. Schmidt asks the first base umpire for time, and he's going to go to Jordan Van here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Honestly, I think that's just a composure check there from Schmidt. I think the thing about these men's league teams is that there is a very strong brotherhood with these teams. It's not like you're here for business. You're here for fun. You're here at 9 a.m. on a Sunday morning to have fun. And that's exactly what they're doing here. One away. Fouled back. So a strikeout and a walk to start the inning. It's the first walk that Van has allowed. He had one hit by pitch, but that was all. But now it's Gordon, the center fielder, who has one RBI, a base hit, and has reached base 3 times. Schlatter, the team, I don't know what you want to call him, but he just threw it back to Van. Good throw, yes. Again, we have fun around here. From the stretch, it's foul. That guy is pretty funny over there. It takes strength to be funny at 11 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. That one missed badly. Cornelia hangs onto it. Gillard gets to second base. So the top 3 right now in the National Division are the South Jersey Cobras, the Philadelphia A's, and the South Jersey Diamondbacks. Now, I assume that the team name choice for the Philadelphia A's is intentional. If you remember, back up until about the 1950s, there were 2 teams in Philadelphia. Strike 3, Gordon strikes out looking. It's his second time disagreeing with the calls tonight. And there's 2 away for Andrew Scott. Just like how there's, by almost default, 2 teams in New York, 2 teams in Los Angeles, and 2 teams in Chicago, Philadelphia used to be prominent enough of an East Coast city to have 2 baseball teams. That ball's crushed left field. Andrew Scott, it's up, it's back, and it is gone! Andrew Scott might have just put the nail in the coffin here in the wild card round. 2-run home run to left. And the Diamondbacks extend their lead to much more similar to how it was in the regular season versus the Lightning. It's an 8-run lead, 11-3. The first home run of the night from either side. In an offense-heavy game for the Diamondbacks, they add on 2 more off of Van. Hit out to left field just beyond the left field dugout for the youth field that converges here with the big field. 2-run homer. they'll reconvene here with Schmidt replacing Jordan Van, who did quite well for himself. He pitched a grand total of, he got the 2/3 that he needed in the fourth, and then 4. Pitched a grand total of 4 1/3 innings in relief. You got to give him credit. Even with the Lightning not having the best of luck today, still found a way to get it done. Now the starter from when we covered the Lightning back when they were known as the South Jersey Spartans in September of 2024, Shaheem Pace is the pitcher, looking to close this one out and give the Diamondbacks one last out against them in the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll be right back, 11-3. Shaheem Pace, the Salem grad, is the pitcher for the Lightning. They trail it 11-3. Carlos Sepulveda is the batter. Garcia's on deck. Stay tuned for the DWB postgame show presented by DAWG Pro Wrestling at the conclusion of this game. Again, Sepulveda 1 for 4. That'll be a free pass. Sepulveda reaches for the second time today at a base hit in the 7th. Again, Jordan Van comes out after 4 1/3 innings. 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 4 earned runs. 1-0 to Garcia. He's got 2 doubles today and 2 RBIs, including that 2-run double in the 8th. Or rather, check that in the 7th. That ball's crushed. Right center field. He's up there. He's watching it. He's got to get it out of the box. Going back. Worsta makes the catch at the wall. A great play to end the inning. And it might be a nice silver lining if this is the end of the road for the boys in light baby blue. Going to the top of the 9th. Last chance. 8 runs to go. Crazier things have happened in baseball. We'll just have to see what they go with. We'll be right back. Leading off the top of the ninth inning, this was a nice play in center field by Max Worsta. Let's take a look at the replay. Started to run out of the box a little bit there, and then Max Worsta made the nice play in center field. Nice defensive play there, and it retired the inning in the bottom of the eighth. Zach Walter is the pitcher in the top of the ninth inning for the Diamondbacks, as we are going to try to get 3 more outs. And the first batter is Ruben Giustiniano. So again, we just talked with manager Donovan Schmidt that they have added Ruben Giustiniano to the order. There was also a change for the Diamondbacks because they had all those changes in the infield. Ooh, that was a big swing and a miss there. All smiles, though, from him, though, in an 8-run game. So, again, they are adding him to the 10 slot because Pace will still be on deck, it looks like. Walter ready, the 0-2. In the dirt. Oh, there he is. So yeah, I've never heard of this rule before, but they can add a player. So they're having him hit in the 10 slot here in the 9th. Got a piece of it. It's foul. Zach Walter, a 6-2 record this season. 8 games appeared. He's got a 5.17 ERA in 33 1/3 innings from the southpaw. Little 3/4 delivery, and he missed low there. Count should be 2-2 now. But Diamondbacks staying consistent. They've pitched 2 pitchers, and all of them have been from the left side. C.J. Small went 8 innings and had some very impressive work. As Giustiniano down the left field line. It's a foul ball. No, that was foul for sure. The third base coach tried selling him on it, but I think this team and this league have sold me. And I like having fun, especially during the summer when it's 80 degrees and humid. In the dirt, misses it, and it's 3-2. So again, Giustiniano gets added to the order as the 10 slot. We still have the next 3 as the top of the order for the Lightning. Pace, Schmidt, and Worsta still could do some damage here as they attempt to come back. A long fabled comeback. That's a fair ball that time. Left field line. That'll be a base hit for Giustiniano. He will hold at first, and he's got himself a base hit out of the 10 slot. And now Shaheem Pace will be the batter, bringing us back to the top. He had an RBI single in the second, which was the first runs of the day for the Lightning in what was originally a back-and-forth game. Strike called, 0-1. Pace pops it up. This one is over our heads. Do not hit my car, please. And it missed all the cars. Wouldn't be the first time. Believe it was when I played in Mount Ephraim, it was a player on my own team.
Yep, while I was sitting in the car.
Well, you were also parked illegally. Yeah, for those of you that know the Mount Ephraim field, right behind the car wash on Black Horse Pike, inside. Again, Pace, probably one of the more experienced players in this circuit. Again, he batted nearly 400 as a 2018 grad of Salem. Batted .393 in his senior year with 24 hits. And again, I believe he shared the same graduating class as Jonathan Taylor, the Indianapolis Colts running back. Pace, 2 for 4 today. 2 for 4 today. Fly out, strike out, and 2 singles. That one skips away. It's trouble for Gillard. And Justin Ano gets down to second. So it's a runner in scoring position. And again, this long-winded effort. I mean, I don't know if Small was incapable of going the distance, but I would imagine that Sepulveda, the manager, was against it, saving him for next week. Pace wavers at a breaking ball, 1 away. Now here's Donovan Schmidt. Schmidt hit a double to left in the 5th. He's 1 for 4 today. Again, he's got a runner on second. Trying to do a little bit of damage and cut the deficit. First pitch, left field. He hit it well. It is fair. Down the line, here comes Justin Ano. He's going to try to get a throw. Schmidt holds it first. It's an RBI single for the player manager, Schmidt. And we talk about helping your own cause, but you're still helping your own cause if you're leading the team. It's an RBI single. It's his second hit of the day, and it's 11-4 in favor of the Diamondbacks. So now here's Max Wersta. Wersta also 1 for 4, had a base hit in the 1st, but has followed that up with almost identical 3 straight flyouts. He's 1 for 4. Vargas is running at first for the manager Schmidt, who has played first base for all eight innings today. Again, don't forget our next broadcast will be on Tuesday with one of the 3 play-in games for the Tri-County Baseball League. It will be either Pine Barrens at Cinnaminson, Burlington Township at Camden, or, I'm trying to remember who the 10-7 game was, would be Blackwood versus Vineland. Those are the 3 options. And we will talk with our coordinators, Angelo Marciano, who has also been involved in South Jersey Men's League Ball, and the league coordinator, Bill Kohut. We'll have a busy weekend for not DWB, but just for personal enjoyment. And then we'll be back in action for Tri-County playoffs in early August. As they get deeper and deeper into the playoffs, the regular season concluded with the Washington Township Senators as regular season champions. They threw back to first, but the umpire said the ball was not in play. So trying to catch somebody off guard, but doing so in a little bit of vain. Here's the 1-1. Now another back pick. That time he is safe. Close call there. 2-1 the count. A lot of pickoff moves by Zach Walter here. Trying to nab Vargas at first here in a 7-run game. Change up. That ball's crushed. Deep left field. Wersta can kiss that ball goodbye. 2-run home run, Max Wersta. Drives it out to left field. That one was hit farther than the one in the bottom half. And just like that, the Lightning have made this a little bit interesting. It's 11-6. He served up a meatball there. I mean, there is no other way to describe it. Max Wersta hit that ball all the way to Clements Bridge Road, and that one was clobbered. 2-run home run out of the 3 slot. And it's 11-6. Here's Jordan Van. Well, now the Lightning have a little bit something extra to play for. I mean, Zach Walter coming in maybe under Sepulveda as the safe choice because it was an 8-run game. Well, now it's a 5-run game. I mean, don't discount them here. There's time called in right field. I think Sepulveda wants to make a change out from right field. It's a little bit more difficult to make a pitching change from right field than what Schmidt did at first base, but I mean, hey, don't count him out just yet. They still got 2 outs on the board. Pace was the only out on a strikeout swinging. At the letters, it's high, 1-0. Strike zone has been a little bit tight all night, but it's been pretty much by the book. Can't discount it. There's a sharp ground ball out towards short, picked up by Brown. Van is fast. He will beat it out for a base hit in the infield. There's a reason why Jordan Van is put in that position. He hits a sharp ground ball. It was moved just to the right for Brown, far enough to move him over and to get Van the opportunity to beat out the base hit, and that's exactly what he did. So now here is Michael Sr. And I think the worry here for the Lightning is that now that you're getting farther and farther away, you're straying farther away from the top of the order. We'll see if they can keep getting hits or if the outs will come back to bite them. Because again, Shaheem Pace struck out swinging, and he's been the only out of the 9th so far versus Zach Walter coming in relief in the 9th. Ground ball. This could be a double play. Scott for 1. No, he will not throw to first. Did he bobble it? Yes, he did. Wow. Everybody's safe, it looks like. Senior will reach. I thought Scott was going to try to turn 2 because the best thing you can do there is try to eliminate Jordan Van at second base. He's the faster runner by a long shot than Michael Sr. So now they're going to try to figure things out because the Lightning have made this game interesting. It's 11-6. 2-run home run by Max Wersta. Michael Sr. now reaches on an E5. There's 2 runners on, and 5 of the first 6 base runners for the Lightning have reached base. C.J. Small's coming back out. There's no way he's coming in to pitch again. Or is he going out to the field? Yeah, they're making a pitching change. Dante Washington will take the hill. I thought they were about to bring him back out like the Undertaker releasing himself from the coffin. But Dante Washington is the new pitcher. We'll be right back in the top of the 9th inning. Don't go anywhere because, as you can clearly tell, we're not done yet here in Haddon Heights, 11-6. Dante Washington is the new pitcher for the Diamondbacks. He comes in here in the top of the 9th. The first pitch is a strike. It's a double steal. The throw from Garcia. Senior's out. Oh, no. Second time today that he has run himself into an out. It happened in the 8th inning, and it happens again in the 9th. Deja vu as Washington's first pitch brings the Diamondbacks one out closer. Van on third, and Pele Jr. at the plate. 0-1 is a foul tip, and just like that, it's 0-2. Pele is 2 for 4. 11-6. And the 0-2. Strike 3 called. And the Diamondbacks advance in the wild card round. They knock off the Lightning, the 6th seed, 11-6. A hard-fought comeback at the end. Zach Walter came in relief. And the season comes to a close for the Lightning after a 9-8 regular campaign. The Cobras or the A's should be next for the South Jersey Diamondbacks, as a hard-fought game by the Lightning, but an offensive rampage by the Diamondbacks puts them ahead. 5 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning will do it. Andrew Scott is your player of the game, presented by DAWG Pro Wrestling. He drove in 4 runs and put the nail in the coffin with a 2-run home run out to deep left field in the bottom of the 8th inning. They'll talk things over, and so will we. We'll be right back with the post-game interview in just a moment.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It is the responsibility of all of us to make sure that our friends, family, and anybody who we hold dear in our lives is feeling well. The problem with spotting mental health issues is that the symptoms aren't that obvious. Just because someone is okay or appears okay on the outside doesn't mean that they're okay on the inside. It's important that if they are in distress, that they call the right people and they get the help that they need. And it is very important that we treat each other with respect, regardless of who you are or where you come from. But it is just as important that we treat ourselves with respect, regardless of the situation going on in our lives. If you're in distress, you can call this number, 988, or you can visit any of these websites if you're not in distress, but would like to learn more information about mental health awareness and research.
Our player of the game, presented by DAWG Pro Wrestling, the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators. It's Andrew Scott, 4 RBIs for you today. Put the nail in the coffin with a 2-run home run to left. A bit of a snafu at the end, but 11-6 is the final. How'd you feel out there today?
Felt great. It was hot. Battled through the heat. Got some good pitches to hit, and the boys brought it out with a dub.
It's not easy to play in this kind of condition, especially with some overnight rain. It wasn't even that hot. It was 80, but it was humid.
Yeah.
The humidity was awful today, and you guys had to play through it all. And being down there at the hot corner, you had a couple of tough plays. The grass was pretty tall in front of you, and it looked like there were some opportunities for some bad hops. We saw that on the other side with Luis Vargas. He had some difficult plays at short as well. How did you overcome that adversity playing at third with a bit of a rocky field like this and being able to make some good plays?
Yeah, I was getting fortunate. I was getting good skips off the grass, nice little one-hoppers to my chest. Had a couple mistakes there. Couldn't get the ball out of my glove in that last inning, but, just staying calm through it all.
And now you guys have some tough matchups ahead. I didn't get a chance to find the full playoff bracket, but you guys are third, Philadelphia A's are second, South Jersey Cobras are first. Neither of those teams are going to be any easier than the Lightning were today, and they still put up 6 runs. So now that you guys are advancing to the next round, it was a team effort for the Diamondbacks today. How do you feel going into the next round for you and your team?
You know, the A's are a good team. We played them twice this season. They beat us both times. So we're coming out with a chip on our shoulder, trying to send them home.
That's always important. Andrew, thank you very much. We are going to conclude with our DWB tradition. We're going to have you sign the bottom of the scorecard. Just make it nice and big on the bottom. Usually we have a nice ballpoint pen, but we're running a little bit short on this Sunday morning, and we've got going to have to work with a number 2 pencil.
Yes, sir.
All right, there you go. Andrew Scott, your player of the game, 4 RBIs, 2 hits, and he's your player of the game for this afternoon. Thank you very much, and best of luck in the next round.
Thank you. Have a good one.
That'll be all for us tonight on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Want to give a quick thank you to Donovan Schmidt of the South Jersey Lightning for having us out here today, and hopefully we get some more South Jersey NABA coverage in the next round because this was very fun to cover. We covered the men's championship game in the fall over in, I believe it was Belmar, Barrington, maybe with Runnymede, right around September, end of September last year. So hopefully we get some more coverage in the fall, and hopefully we get some more opportunities to do this again because I like this style of baseball. It's very laid back. Even when the Lightning were losing by 8 and they were on the cusp of their season being over, there were all smiles out there. And I feel like that's what baseball is all about. Baseball is a game that was curated to be peaceful. It was curated to be just having fun. And this is the epitome of that. These guys, their season's over. They're all smiles. They're packing up their bags. They're all having fun. The Diamondbacks are having fun for a different reason, though. They scored 11 runs and made it to the next round. That big inning, the bottom of the 4th, with what did it in. They had 5 runs, 10 batters, and got everybody home in that inning. And then there was really a scoring lull until the 7th. There was no runs in the 5th or 6th after the Lightning subbed out Keith Paley for Jordan Van, who had 4 1/3 innings in relief. I feel like, if the Lightning had come back to win the game, I feel like that Jordan Van would have to be considered for a player of the game just because of how much he did in terms of volume in relief as an innings eater. But either way, though, the final is the final. Max Wersta hit a home run. The Lightning did storm back with 3 runs in the top of the 9th, but it wasn't enough, and a time of game of 3 hours and 1 minute is the long total for the game today. Again, our next broadcast will be Tuesday. We'll be covering one of 3 Tri-County series between either Pine Barrens and Blackwood, or check that, Pine Barrens and Cinnaminson, Blackwood and Vineland, or Camden and Burlington Township. We'll let you know over the weekend or on Monday where we'll be going on Tuesday. That'll be all for us tonight from our entire crew, our social media coordinator, Haley Mejia, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel, Caleb Lane, and Carson Rosso, my producer, my wonderful mother, Donna Wilkins, for coming out here today on this Sunday morning. Not easy to come out on a Sunday morning on a hot, humid day like this when, none of our other guys are available. I'm Dan Wilkins. We'll see you on Tuesday. The Diamondbacks advance to the next round over the Lightning, 11-6. That'll be all. Have a good one, folks.